Hey everyone, and welcome. So, we're going to talk about something that is a massive deal on campuses everywhere right now: how to ethically use generative AI for your academic work. It really feels like a whole new world, doesn't it? Learning how to use this tech the right way is becoming a core skill for students. So, let's dive into how you can make this powerful tool work for you, not against you. We've broken this down into 5 simple parts. First, we'll look at AI as a learning tool. Then we'll get into its big weakness, what we're calling the credibility gap. After that, we'll hit the really practical stuff: how to label and reference it, what a disclosure annexure is, and we'll wrap it all up with a super important final integrity check. All right, so first up, let's get one thing straight. AI is not the enemy here. When you use it correctly, it can be an absolutely amazing asset for your studies. Seriously, think of it like having a personal tutor or a brainstorming partner available 24/7. I think the two big words here are powerful and ethically. The best way to use AI is as a guide, right? It can help you unpack complicated ideas, it can spark your own creativity, and it is fantastic for those early stages of just planning out and structuring your assignments. So, while AI is a great planning partner, it's got this one huge problem we have to talk about. It's called the credibility gap. And honestly, this is where a lot of students can get into real trouble if they aren't careful. This slide pretty much lays it all out. On the one hand, you've got its strengths: guiding your creativity, clarifying things, helping you plan. But on the other hand, you have these massive weaknesses for academic work. It is not a credible source. The information it gives you is incredibly hard to verify, and sometimes it just flat out invents facts. You've probably heard this called hallucinating. This leads us to a really important rule. You simply cannot use AI as a substitute for real, legitimate academic research. It does not replace digging into scholarly books, academic journals, or peer-reviewed reports. Those are your credible sources. The AI is not. Okay, so if you do use it for things like brainstorming, how do you acknowledge it? Well, that brings us to the first set of very clear rules: how to properly label and reference anything you've used an AI to generate. For Harvard referencing, it turns out there are 6 key things you need to include. You need the author or the publisher of the tool, the year of the version you used, the name of the AI itself, and a little description, like large language model. And then to finish it off, you need the URL and the exact date you accessed it. And here's exactly what that looks like in the wild. You can see the reference list entry is super clear, it follows that 6-part structure, and the in-text citation, simple and clean, just like any other source, just the author and the year. See, it's that straightforward. But just referencing it isn't quite enough. There's a second, equally important step you have to take, and that's creating something called a disclosure annexure. This is basically where you come completely clean about how you used AI. And your annexure has to be specific. It needs a clear title. You have to state exactly which sections of your assessment involved AI and name the tools you used. You also have to explain why you used it, for brainstorming, outlining, list the dates, and even provide a link or some screenshots of your chat. And here's a quick but very important tip on where this actually goes. It doesn't go at the beginning or get lost in the middle. It has to be inserted at the very end of your assessment, right after your reference list. So the bottom line is, disclosure is not optional. You must tell your lecturer how you used AI. And the reason this is such a big deal is that it allows them to see the difference between what the AI helped with and, most importantly, what is your own original work, which, of course, is what they're there to assess. This brings us to our final and probably most critical section, the integrity check. Because, following the rules is one thing, but understanding the spirit behind the rules is everything. And it's so important to understand that if you don't follow these rules, the consequences can be pretty serious. Any use of AI that isn't properly labeled and disclosed could actually trigger an intellectual integrity investigation. And trust me, that is a headache you definitely want to avoid. Okay, so right now you might be thinking, hey, if I reference everything perfectly and I disclose everything in my annexer, then I'm totally safe, right? Well, not exactly. And this is the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. You have to be so careful not to rely on AI too much. Even if you've disclosed everything perfectly, if your marker reads your assignment and can't find enough of your own work and your own voice, they can still take marks off. Because at the end of the day, an assessment is designed to do one single thing: test your knowledge and your skill. The work you hand in has to be a real reflection of your own understanding and your own abilities. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. How are you going to use AI as a tool to make your own academic voice stronger and more unique, without ever letting it become a crutch that weakens it? Figuring that out is probably going to be the key to success in this new academic world.